All right, moving on to the next issue with the Suburban. So, no radio. There's a radio in it, but would not turn on. Thing wasn't secured very well in there, which I didn't really expect it to be. It's kind of in like one of those little brackets, and I'll show you what I'm dealing with here. So I don't think it had power going to it, and I'll show you why. Here we go. Got it pulled out. So this is part of the power source. That pulled right out of this little guillotine guy here. And it also has a shitty splice here and a shitty splice here. I'm gonna get rid of that and get rid of this, because I have something better than those. Maybe it might be something that Mortsky might want to look into. They're called Wagos, and I use them at work all the time, and they're freaking awesome. So I'm gonna clean this stuff up and see if we can't get power to this thing. I also noticed that pulled out of that one too. I don't know what that one's for, but we can clean that up. It's got electrical tape all over it, so I'm guessing it's a red one. I don't know what that clips into. So I'm gonna clean this up and I'll show you what I did and what Wagos look like and how awesome they are. So look them up, guys. Get them at Granger, stuff like that. But all right, what is that thing? I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this up and keep moving forward. All right, I kind of got to get in a position to where I can show you what I'm doing here. So Wagos are better than wire nuts, and they crimp down. You can use them for low voltage and high voltage. So what they are is these little guys. You get them in two connector, 3 connector. You can get them in 5 connector for when you need to wire a lot of hots together, or neutrals, or whatever, or grounds. And these little guys flip up just like that, and then you snap them down. They're great for like high voltage stuff I work a lot with. I usually don't use them on like 208. I usually use it mainly I can use them on 208, but I usually use them on like 120 volt stuff. Makes it safer for you to like hook up a neutral and stuff, because you could have a bunch of neutrals hooked into this, and if you need to add a circuit to it, you just pop it into that one and snap her down, and then you don't got to worry about zapping yourself. So all right, I got what I believe is the power hooked up. They're red, so I'm guessing they're power. I'm gonna do the black, which I'm guessing is the negative or ground. It's only 2 for this one. There was 3 on the power side, so I used all 3. And what they had before was these stupid electrical guillotines. So this little, you don't even have to strip. I mean that's probably what they're good for, is you don't have to strip them. There's this little metal thing, when you push it down, it goes right through the shield or the insulation on the wire, and you just clip it in. But they never make good connections, hardly ever. Just ask Mortsky Repair. He hates these things. I'm not a fan either. I like to clean the electrical up the best I can. So I'm going to take this, pop her on. Just like that. Pull her back. She's in. Strip the other side back. Pop her on. She's in. All right. Slide this little guy back in there. see if we actually have power to the radio. Oh, there's some more in there too. I'm gonna check and see if there's actually a fuse in there too. But like these tiny little crimp fittings, they suck. They always pull out. And I'm not a fan of pulling out. So, alright. Okay, 15 amp looks good. And it's the mini ones, I guess. I don't know. I think they make bigger ones than these. Pardon me. Looks a little corroded, but should be fine. I'm gonna go grab the keys and see if it worked. If not, more troubleshooting, which I probably won't show. I'm more waiting on my dad to show up to help me with this, which will be tomorrow night. So, alright, I'm gonna grab the keys and see if it actually works. Alright, moment of truth. Nope. No power. Just wanted to test, make sure I actually had a key on. So, yeah, no power. So, troubleshooting continues. Check back later. Alright, I think we made some progress. At least we traced it back to here. So I pulled the fuse on the firewall, on the bulkhead connector. Key on, has power. Using my little test light. That's falling apart. Let's screw that back together. Anyway, and then so the next one would be this red wire, and then trace that back to my connector here. And I pulled the wire going to the radio off and tested that. Lights up, got power. So I saw that there's a little fuse on the back of this here. I'll get you in here, hold on. So there's a little fuse spot right there. So pulled it off. As you can see, that fuse is blown. So it's a little 10 amp fuse. We'll grab one, throw it in, and see what happens. Maybe it'll fix it. Alright. Check back once I got a fuse in there. That's what your fuse should look like. About a 10 amp. I think it's from my painless wiring harness from my Chevelle. So 10 for 10. Can't see it. So they just ran my hole. Did it? Oh boy. I think there might be a short somewhere in that. I don't know. Because it was like kind of sparking a little bit. Maybe it was catching the ground. I don't know. But there's no power to it. Anywho. Alright. Let's toss her in there and see what she does. hear noises. Let's get it on the actual station here. Where's the... Just let me guess, the antenna's not hooked up. Oh yeah, that antenna is definitely not hooked up. It's one that's in the windshield. But it's got Bluetooth on it, it says. So how do you do Bluetooth on it? Oh boy. Oh, it's the Bob and Tom show.
As he's listening to the radio and driving along, Brandy leaves.
Chick. Fixed it. Alright, better stop that before I get copywritten. Okay. Just traced out the wires, I think, so that's what most likely popped the fuse on that, is this little guillotine, because like I said, that power wire just pulled right out of there. I don't think it might have been maybe touching a little bit, but junk, don't get these. Wagos, look them up, use those. They're the way to go. Way of the future, boys. Makes your wiring a hell of a lot easier, like I said. I'm gonna clean up these trailer brake wires and stuff too, because yeah, I don't want. I also like the ones like I showed on the Chevelle, and then you go back to watch that when I did the lights, I think 2 or 3 videos ago. You can get a whole kit of them, and they're solder on, and you melt the solder and make a really good connection. Worst thing in the world is bad connections and wiring and tracing wiring demons and stuff like that. So, well, not worst thing in the world, there are worse things, but you know what I mean. Pain in the ass. So, I have a radio now. On to the next step here. I actually don't have a radio, I have Bluetooth, which is fine. Like I said, the antenna is probably not hooked up because that goes through the windshield, and you probably couldn't get up in there to hook up the antenna. So, and there should be no drain. Yep, it shuts off, so no drain on the battery. I call that a win. Now my dad doesn't have to stop by and worry about having to crawl underneath the dash. We can just sit around and drink beer. Alright, on to the next issue, I guess. See you later.